Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the lecture. So now we'll start to find the crank distributor along the shorter span on both the side. Again, this length what we have is 7,000. Your crank distributor will be along the shorter span will be put like this. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. So what you do? This is 7,000 plus 230 plus 230 minus 1 cover from here minus 1 cover from here. Okay. So same thing I've done. 230 plus 7,000 plus 230 minus 25 minus 25. Again, one I'm taking 10 diameter. Spacing I'm keeping 150 because previously, hmm, okay. So yeah, so it will be 150 only because your main bar is also at 150 only. No, so crank distribute is also will be 150 only. So number of bar will be round up 1250 because this way I'm putting. So this is 5,000. 5,000 divided by 4 is 1250. So 1250 divided by spacing is 150 plus 1. Since both the side I require, I multiplied by 2. So it will be 20. Actually, if you do it on single side, that is 1250 divided by 150 plus 1. This will be 9.33. I'll consider it to be 10 bar. So 10 into 2 is 20 number of bar is required. So cutting length is 7410. In terms of meter, it will be 7.41. So total cutting length will be 7.41 into number of bar is 20 into 1 if I do, it will be 148.2. Therefore, since it's a 10 diameter bar, 148.2 into 0.617, this will be 91.43 kg of a steel is required. Now, along longer span. Hmm? So along longer span, crank distributor. This is your crank distributor along the longer span. So again, this length, from inner to inner is 5,000 plus 230 plus 230 minus 1 cover from here minus 1 cover from here. Same thing we have done it here. 230 plus 5,000 plus 230 minus 25 minus 25. The cutting length is 5410. Okay. So crank distributor bar along the longer span 110, spacing is 150. Now number of bar. So number of bar you're putting in this direction. So 7,000 divided by 4. It will be 1750. So 1750 divided by 150 plus 1 you're supposed to do. 1750 divided by 150 plus 1. You'll get around 12.3667. Let us say 13 number of bar on one side, 13 number of bar on other side. So 13 twos are 26, or even if you multiply this by 2, you'll get 26. Cutting length is 5.41, so total will be 5.41 into 26 into 1. It will be 140.66 kg, and total will be 140.66 into 0.617. So it will be 86.78 kg. Now the last two bar which is left out, they are your top extra bar. So along the shorter span, I'll find the top extra bar first. So again, top extra will be only at L by 2 distance. So this is top extra, top extra, top extra, top extra, top extra, and top extra. Similarly, on this side also, my top extra will come in between the two crank. Okay. So you'll know how to find the cutting length. This will be L by 4, which is 5,000 divided by 4, which is how much? 1250. So 1250 plus 230 minus 1 cover. You're going to get the cutting length. So I got the same thing here. 1250 plus 230 minus 25. 1455 is a cutting length. So 110 diameter. The spacing I'll take 300 because your main reinforcement is at 150, 150. So your top extra will be double of that. So it will be 300. Now coming to the number of bar, round up. Okay. So since your bar is being put in this way, you have to take 7,000 divided by 2. It will be 3,500. So 3,500 divided by the spacing. That is 300. You'll not do plus 1 because already in the crank distributor plus 1 has been done. You don't have to do here. Okay. So you'll get around 12 number of bar. Since we are putting it on both the side, I'll multiply this by 2. So you'll get 24 number of bar. Cutting length you got 1.455. Total will be 1.455 into 24 into 1. It will be 34.92. And this total weight will be 34.92 into 0.617. It will be 21.54 kg of a steel is required. Similarly, on a longer span, you are supposed to provide the crank distribution. Top extra bar. So here also you'll provide a top extra bar since it's a two-way slab. Top extra in between the two crank, your top extra will come. Similarly, here also top extra will come on both the side. So you know how to find the cutting length of this. What you do, cutting length, you know this is L by 4. From here to here it is L by 4, which is 1750, because this is 7000. 7000 divided by 4 is 1750. This is 230 minus 1 cover you have to do. Similarly, same thing I've done it here. 1750 is a crank length. So it's 230 minus 25. So the cutting length is 1955. So top extra bar along the longer span on both the side, 110. Spacing will be double. So I've taken 300. Now coming to the number of bar. So you're being put the bar in this way. That means you have to take 5000. 5000 divided by 2 you have to do. It will be 2500. So 2500 divided by the spacing is 300. No adding plus 1. You just multiply it by 2. You're going to get 18. Actually get 9 number of bar on one side, another 9 on the other side. So I'm multiplying it by 2. I'll get 18 number of bar. Cutting length is 1.955. So total will be 1.955 multiplied by 18 multiplied by 1 will be 35.19. Since it's a 10 diameter bar, 35.19 multiplied by 0.617, this will give me 21.712 kg of a steel. Finish. Entire BBS is completed. Now if I add all the weight, since everything is a 10 diameter bar, I've added everything. I've added all the steel from here. Okay. I'm getting 546.13. And I think there are certain 12 diameter bar. No, okay. This is for our calculation I had done. Yeah. So the total steel that is required in the two-way slab, which is having both the side crank, is 546.138. I'll write it here. 8. And if I go to the previous one where we had done alternate crank, that is a previous project. Okay. Here also you got the same answer. 546.113. How much you got? 546.113. So what is the difference? Nothing difference is there. So just we came to a conclusion that whether you do a crank bar or whether you do alternate crank, both the side or alternate crank, there won't be much variation. This negligible variance, almost in 0.00 difference will come. Okay. So in this way, you are supposed to do the BBS if you get a uh, two-way slab or one-way slab where you have both the side crank. I've explained everything, and I hope with this you are able to do any BBS that is given to you. Slight changes may happen in your diameter, in the spacing and all, but doing the procedure remains the same. One-way slab, you'll get a main reinforcement, uh, okay, shorter span. Your longer span will be a distribution bar, and your crank distributor will also come on shorter span, and top extra will come. In case of two-way slab, you get a shorter span bar, you get a longer span bar, you get a crank distributor, you get a crank distributor in shorter and longer, you get a top extra on shorter and longer, right? So that is how the entire calculation has to be done. So try to practice it. And I think most of the things I've covered here. In case if anything is left out, if I feel I need to add, then I'll be surely adding those things in the next lecture. But as of now, entire slab BBS I've covered it. And also I've taken, I mean, I've explained even the two-side BBS also, which many people don't explain you all those things. So those things I've covered here. Okay. So try to practice it. Any doubt if you feel like you're not able to understand something, I always told you that you can always message me on this number. Yeah, this is my WhatsApp number 9953779047. You just WhatsApp any doubt if you feel you're not able to understand or some confusion if you may have. Of course, in BBS there will be certain confusion. You can always get back to me. You can always drop me a text message. Else, if you cannot use WhatsApp, you just drop me a mail on akshaykamat73@gmail.com. So within 24 hours, I'm gonna reply to all your questions. Okay, if you put on the WhatsApp within 1 or 2 hours, you'll get 1 or 2 hours, you'll get a reply. If it is a mail, it will take a day for me to reply. Okay, great. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.